Hey, hey, hey. We live. We in the building. It's the whole crew. Up in the top right hand corner. We got your boy, Stephen Carter. Hey, Mr. Carter.
Hey, ladies, or and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. And down in the bottom right, my boy, Tomas.
How you guys doing?
Tomas in the building. We all like low energy, but we got to get into it though.
Tomasito.
Hey.
That's what my barber call me.
Tomasito. In the middle, it's your girl, Tracy Morgan.
How you doing, love?
Hey, honey, how are you?
Amazing. Thank you for having me.
Good, good, good. Glad you could be here. And the one and only RG Breed in the building.
Hi, baby. How are you, my love?
I'm pretty good, pretty good. I'm making it. It's Tuesday.
All right, let's do it.
And then under the covers is your boy B Starks. He in there somewhere. B Starks.
Hey, yo, what's up, people?
He in the classroom.
B Y'all B Starks got a real job. He got a real job. He worked for real.
Support people.
Is he the Tommy of the crew? Just a little shorter.
Huh?
Is he the Tommy of the crew? Just a little shorter.
He is.
Okay.
I just told her this the other day. I don't really know what he do. He's always on lunch, always on break. He always got time to meet somebody somewhere.
That's wrong. You're throwing the ball out there in the wind. That's
I'm
wrong.
just saying.
He cannot respond right now. He is like, I got so much something to say, but he can't say it because he's in class.
Oh, so real quick.
I'm pouring into my people. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, go ahead and pour. Go ahead and pour. He ain't saying nothing, but he pouring. I ain't gonna. So we talk about this relationship stuff. We all single. What y'all doing outside? Cause I ain't.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
What y'all doing outside?
It's crazy out here, man.
Tell us about it, Tomas.
Hey, instead of tell, I mean, what y'all want to know?
Come on, any dates lately?
Probably like a couple weeks ago. I was supposed to go out on one yesterday, but she hurt herself at the gym. So that's cool.
Okay.
That's
Tell us
what
about
she said, right?
That's what she said. Tell us about it.
But she cool. She's actually Mexican. She's Hispanic. I normally date the sisters. I ain't really, but I met her a couple years ago. She was actually a server at Fogo de Chao. And this was like around COVID. So she had like a mask on. She had really pretty eyes, So I did my thing. I went around, got a number, But nothing happened. We kind of just fell off the radar. And then I seen her. She made a post on Instagram, and we just started messaging each other from there. And I took her out once, and then we were supposed to go out again yesterday. But again, she hurt herself at the gym. But yeah, I'm just dating right now. Nothing crazy, nothing serious. Just trying to see what else is out there.
Okay, so you meeting people at Fogo de Chao. Anybody else? Where y'all meeting people? Where y'all meeting people? Mr. Carter, you up there quiet.
On purpose.
Where you meeting people, Mr. Carter?
You know what? I really haven't been meeting people, to be honest with you. I've met a couple of young ladies in the past. I met a lady at Kroger's once online. When I first moved out here to Dallas, though, I think my go-to source was like Facebook groups, small focus groups or whatnot, interacting with people. You find that some people Just, they might not think you're like the most handsomest dude or whatever, but like the way you articulate yourself and the response that you give in those groups kind of set off this thing where they're like, oh my God, this guy knows how to talk, or he knows how to articulate himself well. And boom, next thing you know, your DMs are popping. So that becomes overwhelming too at the end of the day, because a lot of times you end up in situations where you get overwhelmed by people in the group. And when you don't respond to someone's DM or something like that, because you're really not interested, then they get offended and they start taking shots at you in the group. And then you kind of like back out of the group, it gets weird. So it's like, oh, he think he better than. I'm like, wait a minute, it's not that. I'm just overwhelmed, So,
Right.
So
I can't respond to everybody. One at a time.
Right. So, but yeah, that's it just ranges. I met an amazing lady here not too long ago, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Super dope. We're just in a process right now of understanding. So
nice. That's what I'm talking about. Where the ladies at? T. Morgan. T. Morgan. Spill the tea. What you out there doing?
I'm actually just not getting out there because, of my move and what my focus had to be. Mother comes first. Take care of that. So I am on a dating app that is been very good so far because of how it understands your personality, the whole nine. And then also I've made a decision to no longer settle. When you truly know yourself, you know what's gonna work. So like for me, if you're sending me a message and there's acronyms, that HRU, how are you? I'm sorry, I'm of a certain mentality, age. Why are you sending me an acronym trying to introduce yourself? Don't even reply. So I'm in a different place. So that been introduced to a couple of gentlemen by some people who truly know me. And then one right now where it's like, he said something the other day, he's like, yeah, we're talking. And in my mind, I'm like, no, we're not, because you don't communicate enough. I don't know your intentions, nothing. We really don't hang out. And when and it's a lot of texting versus calling. Again, we're 40 plus. Communicate. But other than that, everyone knows, I'm dating. I'm gathering data to see who I am compatible with in every aspect. Looking at, I'm listening. I've learned because of things in the past. I know I'm an extrovert. I can start talking about myself the whole nine. I've learned not to do that, to fall back. Because sometimes just in saying, oh, well, I'm such, this is what I do. Sometimes we divulge too much information, not knowing. And it can set us up for someone trying to use us in a certain capacity. That goes both ways, fellas. It goes both ways. And so, because I've had some male friends that have truly were like, man, I wish I never would have, told some of these women what I do for a living, because they already sized me up, their personality changed, yada, yada. And that's, I learned from my brothers, coming from a family of 6 girls, I needed that info. And so it's helping me. I'm gathering data. So I'm dating like Tomas and, who truly I connect with, and also who is truly my old school a little bit is, who's chasing me, truly, not in a negative way, but who's truly putting in effort, and it shows. And everything is not monetary. It's in the small things. I understand the text saying good morning, but What about just a quick phone call? Just say, hey, I want to say good morning to you. I want to hear that voice. I like the human connection. So, but I'm enjoying myself. It's been interesting, especially because I don't look my age. That has been, so I will say this, that has been a challenge. I've let it go. However, I tend to get a lot of late 30-year-olds approaching me. And so it's like, I'm sorry, I can't, I can't,
So what's the age range, Tracy Morgan?
For me, it is between 45 to 51 because of my age.
Okay.
I would say, yeah. So I'm slightly over 45, and I just feel where I am in life and maturity aspect, although age is just a number. However, true things that we're compatible and relatable with, many times to me, I see that with age and experience.
I think that's a great range.
Thank you.
RG Bree.
What about you? Wait a minute. What about you, Isha? Nicole?
What about me?
So you missed what B Sparks put in the chat in the beginning. So what about you, Isha?
I'm dating.
Okay.
And I found somebody, or somebody found me that I enjoy. We are just taking it easy.
Amen. I love it.
Yeah. He makes me smile.
Okay.
Anywho.
Oh, no, she didn't. I'm sorry. Did she just anywho us? I'm sorry. Go ahead, RG. Get her, RG. See, that's why we say the best, the great for last. The great.
Because they all in my business, RG, and this ain't even about me.
We're gonna get back around to you. Don't think you done got away with nothing. I am the dusty old one in the group. I'm the old one. And so I have decided that I don't want to be someone's caretaker. Because the people in my range, we qualify for AARP. Platinum.
Platinum.
Yeah.
No.
And AARP Platinum. Why are you laughing, Mr. Steven?
Because I just signed up for AARP and I'm 44, so.
I don't even know what that is.
Good.
Really, Thomas?
You can tell Thomas the baby in the group.
Mr. Thomas, don't start that foolishness. Don't start that foolishness. So how old are you, Mr. Steven?
I'm 44.
Y'all are all babies. I'm the old. I'm almost old enough to be some of y'all mama. So the group that I'm with, I get this because I'm way older than you guys. I'm a few humps from 60 right now. So what I found is the gentlemen who are in my age group, they want Tracy and Isha, right? If they want me, they want some young spring chickens. If they want me to take care of them. They have health issues and things. I don't want them all dried up and withered. Or I'm sorry. You told me grown folks was on here, and I don't want nobody so young you change my insurance premium. This is what I'm getting.
Okay. Geico insurance.
You so young you changing my insurance premium. You know what I'm saying? I can't even get my little old people discount no more. You is changing my insurance premium. That's the range. And so either one is too young or the other is too old. And I'm just not settling. And I just am in a place now where I'm just not. There is nothing. The men who are who are ready to settle or talk or even become life partners, they want a handmaiden. I'm just not. I'm old. I ain't dead. All my parts still work. You heard me?
Amen.
All of them still work. You know.
Don't look like that.
That's
Keep
one of the
going,
blessings of being a woman. It still works.
They said that all my parts, I still got an extended warranty on all my parts. They still work. And the reason why are you gentlemen? See, here's the thing. And let me
It's how you putting it. No, listen. It's extended warranty, premiums. Like you got this whole thing down. I'm like, oh wait a minute. It's all go.
See, that's what I'm saying. And young women, you have to understand, because here again, I put the age on the thing. I'm 57, right? And you are at an age now, for most of you guys on the call, you cannot let folks tear up your equipment. You can't. You can't let people tear, because you can't get no more. There's no more parts available. So we have to take care of ourselves. And in that, you're gonna have to be selective about who you let put your car up on the rack. You know what I'm saying?
You forgot a piece with that. You forgot the soul ties.
Oh, so we ain't even talk about the soul ties because at our age,
let me hush. My bad.
Yeah, because see, with them soul ties, I'm tied up forever. I'm hemmed up with the crazy. No. And because it ain't got nowhere to go. It's too old. I'm too old. And so you have to think about who you are and whose you are and what kind of quality of life you want. So while you guys are in this space in your 40s, because remember, I'm going to just tell y'all this. I have a 35-year-old and I have a 17-year-old. So at y'all age, I was still had a baby. I had a baby in my 40s, a baby. My oldest was 17, 18. She was graduating from high school. So I got one coming out of high school and one in a car seat. Y'all know I was looking stupid. I was looking crazy. This is what I'm saying. Don't get hemmed up because you hear things. It's real for men and women. Can you imagine? I got a graduation and a diaper bag. What? You know what I mean? And now that he'll be 18 in June, life is looking very different, because so you guys got to, I'm saying, pick your partners carefully, because if you don't, you could end up with some foolishness. You can end up with some foolishness that you got like bad luggage. You got it forever. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Back to you, Ita. Back to you at the studio.
I mean, that was real. That was like a mic drop moment. That was real. You left no crumbs on the table. It's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, who you decide to align yourself with can make or break your life.
and since I don't have much life left, I've got to be careful. Look,
I got plenty of life left. You young.
I'm gonna be here. But here's the thing: the older you get, right, you have to understand the quality of life is different. Like, okay, let me give you an example. I heard some kind of, I don't know, it may have been Sinbad or somebody said he want an older woman because if his face started twitching, the young girl be like, "Baby, what's wrong with your face?" And he said he need a woman who knows the signs of stroke at his age. You know what I'm saying? He said he want a woman who understands the signs of stroke. And that is, you got to figure out where you're going and what kind of quality of life you want. And you can't have somebody who want to be playing and you got more years under you than you have ahead of you. I mean, like I said, I'm bumping 60. So I can't have somebody who want to play. If they want to play with me, that's different. But there's still me in my age think they got game. Pops, you don't. She just wants you for your discount. And I think that's
Am I the only one that heard that?
I'm holding it together. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, wine. I'm sorry.
She want to drive your car. She want your benefit package. Come on. And then when she done took all your money and everything, you want to come over here and tell me I want real love. Go somewhere, miss me with that. You know, or you too old and tired to do anything. So I mean, I'm in a conundrum. Like I said, that's the dating situation for me. What do I do? What an old chick do? What a dusty pro do? What she do? Somebody help a girl out.
But you ain't Dusty, RG. Now,
I'm dusty.
Dusty. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, you're not. And see, here's the thing. You still have so much life, spunk, and personality. You know, you just need that right brother.
I
He
do.
gonna have to come with it.
I need some wood chopping, back cracking.
He gonna have to come through.
Thomas.
I was trying to say it without saying it.
I need somebody to crack my back, align my spine.
Bruh.
He starts.
Oh shit! He's not.
Okay, this how I'm gonna be for the rest of the interviews.
Okay.
Oh, no. I love it.
Hey, oh, it's off camera.
You know I gotta pivot. I know po time us.
Woo, okay. And we supposed to be taking this on the road when?
Y'all ain't gonna be no good.
Oh,
This gonna be the
okay.
funniest tour in Hollywood. Okay. So let's talk about this online dating thing, because I think a lot of us have had experience meeting people online. I know Steven mentioned it. I know Brian has mentioned it in the past before. Tracy mentioned it tonight. So has dating online kind of changed the dynamic? Because I'm going to just let you know about my experience. So it seems to me like people, when they meet you online, they're not looking for monogamy.
Here's the problem, though. This is the problem I run into with dating online, which is why I'm trying to get away from it. Just me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the inbox. You know, it's going to be a ton of dudes talking to whatever beautiful lady you match with in the inbox. And it's like you kind of picture yourself as a crab in this bucket with a bunch of other crabs trying to get out and get in front, right? Versus meeting somebody in person, which I think is better because a lot of things get out the way, right then and there. You can see who they are, what they look like, and I think it's easier to connect in person versus online. I've connected with some great people online, but I've also met people who don't look like themselves online. I'm sure you guys have run into catfishes. No, nobody, anybody?
Yeah, absolutely.
It happens. Yep. You know, it happens, and you know, all that stuff gets out the way. You know, so I actually started following this page on Instagram, and it's specifically for dating in Dallas, in the Dallas area. I can send y'all I can put the name in the chat. It's pretty dope. This guy, he hosts like speed dating events.
I think we all follow it.
Y'all probably all follow it.
I need to fly back home to Dallas.
You talking about Mr.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Moore City. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, that cat, yo, I sent him my message on DM. I said, yo, keep doing what you're doing, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good work out here, man. You know what I mean? So, and he just basically promotes, you know, going out and just meeting people, old fashioned. Even if you got to go out by yourself, which I'm an introvert, so that's, you know, that's kind of tough for me. But, you know, once you get out there and you start shaking hands with folks, networking, and just meeting people, you'd be surprised. Come out with several numbers and, you know, you meet good people. Go from there.
Oh, so
I'm not talking about mine. I'm just saying it happens.
Oh, you playing outside, Tomas?
So
well, oh, you playing outside? We see you.
I'm just trying to do something different. That's all. Because I've been dating online. I've done the whole BLK, Hinge. I've been on all of them. you know.
We know what you're doing. I'm gonna throw it to Mr. Carter because Brian act like he working. Mr. Carter, what's been your
man. So I have a different of opinion in a sense than Thomas, and the reason why is because I'm an unorthodox thinker when it comes to connecting with people. Number one, I feel like everyone's not a romantic connection, but I believe everybody's a purpose connection. There's 8 billion people in the world, and for you to connect with somebody on some level, that's a person you probably got to figure out what that purpose is and then kind of go forward from that. Everybody not a love thing. And one of the things I used to hear all the time was, I don't need more friends. I'm like, yes, you do, because you wouldn't be on a dating app if you didn't. That's just my opinion. But I said this not too long ago, and I've said it to several people over the years, like one of the hardest things about dating, it's good for me, honestly, for a man. I'm a big guy. You know, I'm a little strong face, you know what I mean? But I love my handsomeness or whatever. But like one of the hardest things for me personally is it's trying to figure out which is the right one, because for like maybe for men, or for, I don't speak on all men, but maybe for me, it's like you meet somebody, you dope, you click with them, you're having a great conversation, all of a sudden another one pop up and you're like, wait a minute, oh my God. And then you're looking at 2, 3, 4, 5 women before you even know it and you don't even realize it. And you're having these quality conversations with each of them, and you're developing these bonds. And the hardest part gets to where you have to go through this process of elimination in your head. Like, wait a minute, I looked up and I'm talking to 4 or 5 different women right now. I ain't taking out a near one on a date. You got to figure out which direction you're going to go in, because at the end of the day, rejection for a lot of people causes a complex. Okay, let's just be honest about it. Like, I'm in sales, so when somebody tells me no, it's fuel for me, but somebody else, they may be like, "Oop, I'm going to go back into my shell." So with that being said, like, online dating has been dope. I've met some amazing women. I've met some amazing characters for the most part, brilliant people. But I'm very, very, I think the key to it is being extremely straightforward as well. When you just tell them, listen, I am talking to several other women, and you got to clarify that, because sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of times, I got to ask the question. I got to ask it multiple ways. Are you dating? Are you single? Are you, okay, let me be blunt, let me be niggerish. Are you fucking? Who are you sleeping with? You have to be upfront with people, because they won't tell you. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I feel like if you're dating somebody who's screwing somebody else, you're fighting an uphill battle. Think about it. You're talking to a woman, you bonding with her, but she getting laid out by Long Dick Larry every night. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a hard feat if you're not being real. So I guess at the end of the day, you just have to really dig into the truth and be so blunt. I always tell women that I've met, like, that I meet as well, like, I want the truth so cold that it could potentially run me away from you. If you can be that honest with me, I think we might have something brewing here. You know what I'm saying? No
Can
secret.
you handle that?
Yeah, people can't handle it.
My
So
brother.
that's one of the pitfalls of online dating. But I also see, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna shut up. Because I think outside of the box when it comes to just connecting with people, because I'm in sales and been in sales since I was a kid. I think you can get the same issues dating online than you can meet somebody in a grocery store. Just because you see them doesn't mean that you automatically gonna be fully connected to them. You're just getting the body chemistry thing out the way. Like, oh, okay. And the reality is, when we look at somebody, whether it's a man or woman, we looking at them in a sexual manner off rip. We like, damn, okay, damn, is he packing this? You don't know nothing about that person's intangibles when you meet them in a grocery store. You just really trying to dig into what you see. Like, okay, can I see myself waking up to this person every day? Damn, okay, is she gonna age? Damn, is the titties dropping right now? Is the booty flat? You looking at all that right off top, right? And the same thing with women. I think y'all looking at the physical aspects too. So it's no different, because you can be with somebody you met in the grocery store, the gas station, or the gym for 10 years and still not know them.
Yeah, sure.
So with that all being said, I just think online dating is great. I think it's just making sure that you balance the load and balance people's personalities once you get to know where they are, because you really can hurt people, because you got to find out where people's heads are and their temperaments are or whatnot. You know what I mean? It's a huge human psychological game in a sense, in my opinion.
That's good stuff. Mr. Carter done took us to school, y'all.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I disagree with the brother on some instances. I'm just gonna say respectfully, brother.
No, it's all right.
Yeah. Because I mean, I've had situations where I've talked to women online, we've had conversations, and then you just fall off the map. Or
Comment.
versus you meet somebody in person, you dating right there. It's happening. You know, you right there in front of the person. You get more information right off the grip, and I understand. I actually agree with some of the things you were saying. Like, you still cannot know who the person is. 10 years. You wake up 10 years from now. I get that, but yeah, dating online, I think is cool. I would just prefer now to meet someone in person, just to get all that out the way. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like, because I don't want to waste my time with just messaging somebody and then you fall off the earth or I fall off the earth. That's happened so many times. And what happened to this person?
Right.
You messaging them, everything going good, or I might stop. I might get off the app, right? I might go ghost. It might happen to me. I know that's happened to some of y'all online.
Yeah, it's a common thing because people don't know how to communicate.
You start off and then life happens and maybe they started dating somebody else. They ain't telling you.
Right.
Who knows? So yeah, it's that.
I always say all the time, if you meet somebody on a dating app, it's safe to assume that they dating other people.
That's correct.
Like, don't make an assumption that it's just you and that person. If you met them on a dating app, obviously they are dating.
They dating other people.
That's correct.
That's what I say. The inbox is blessed. I already know because some of these women are gorgeous. You match with them, you already know their inbox is lit. So you trying to be the first person at the top, that they see, and then based on there, you want to try to have a good conversation. Then you eventually get the number, and then now y'all off the platform. I be getting tired of that, man. That's just me. I be getting tired of it. But
it's so funny that you say that because a gentleman messaged me and I've not responded, and I'm glad with this app you can't tell if the person has viewed your message. And he literally put, I think I've fallen in love. I hope you have too. It was for me, and I'm sitting up here like, first I went back, I said, oh, he's young, he don't know. Because I went to look at his profile. And I just sat back like, how many women do you use that on? And how many fell for it?
Mm-hmm.
So dating online has helped me really see what's out here because technically, real talk, when did we break up? Technically, I haven't been in a relationship in 5 years. So, yeah.
So there's two ways to look at that, though. That guy could have been trying to get your attention, because some women will come out and say, some women will come out and say, hey, say something different other than, hey, how are you? I see it on profiles all the time. I'm like, wait,
but I'm not going to say that.
Yourself
but
without...
I shouldn't have to say that. To me, where I am in the men who from their inbox, and who literally said, I've read your profile. I found this particular thing interesting. What do you are you willing to discuss such and such book that you said you were reading? So when I can tell you've taken genuine interest, it makes a difference. There's one gentleman on an app that I'm on. I will be upfront, that one is Facebook dating. I forgot to hide how we're connected. So he found me. Now, I'm going to be upfront. That was impressive because one, I saw who we're connected through. So I'm like, he's safe because I know who we're connected through. And I was like, okay. But to me, I was like, wait a minute. You just messaged me and I may not have responded within a couple of hours because I was busy. But he went on and found me, sent me something on Messenger and was like, hey, Now we can talk. And I'm like, oh, okay, I see you. So
Oh,
that's
effort. Come
that's
on,
effort.
effort.
Right, that was effort. Well, I was like, okay.
That's baby stalking.
Oh, I'm gonna drink my wine. This is why I'm calling you at 8 o'clock in the morning, because stuff like that right there. We got a conversation tomorrow.
That's funny. And it's really interesting to me how Tracy, someone like you, could have difficulty dating.
Really?
Yes.
I've had that question, and I know I've gone through a lot, and I'm healed from those things. So I know what I no longer put up with, what I don't have time for. If I can tell, I'm a sapiosexual. So that, a lot of people don't know what that is. I'm driven by intellect. That's how you get me. Yes, package looks good, but what comes out your mouth, what we talk about, the depths and so forth, that's what drives me. And again, if you're messaging me acronyms, I don't have time. Swipe left. To me, that's a maturity level. I don't even Isha, do I acronym you? Be real. Do I acronym you in text?
No.
Okay. So
I don't acronym you either.
Exactly. So it's I'm just at a different point in my life. I do go out, Thomas. I do go out, and I have been meeting gentlemen, and I too date outside my race. And I'm gonna be real. I noticed how I'm treated differently in a very positive way from other cultures, other cultures. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. I can truly be in my softness. I can truly be all things woman. To the point it's like, if I could just focus on just philanthropy and my nonprofit and yes, you make money, quote unquote, from that or whatever, but truly giving, if I can focus on that, still be the partner, the companion, the wife. What are we building together? Because that's the other part. If I can't hear in your conversation what your goals are and how you're achieving them, or even if you might have some stuck, we all go through that. Hey, I'm going through this. But you know what? I encourage you. Oh, okay, well, you just met me. That's okay. I still encourage you. That speaks volumes. How I'm handled up front. If you're aggressive, that's not going to work. I've been there, done that. And that will bring out, for me, you want Miss North Carolina or Miss New Jersey? Which side you want? I'm a Sigma female. I don't want to be an alpha female. I know who I am. And I know what I get done. I know what I bring to the table. And that's how I move forward. I crack up with exes who have reached back out. I know you're the one. Delete.
Forget trying to spin the block.
I don't do that. I am no longer connected to men I have dated or been intimate with. What is the reason?
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
The dead has arisen.
He gotta catch up. So I'm gonna go on mute. Hey, B-Starks.
Let us all go on mute for B-Starks.
Where do I start? I think I'll go back because I was skipped. So I think your first initial question was, what are we doing? What's going on? So for me, I kind of chilled, from the dating scene. I only get on apps just because I'm bored, nothing else with my time. But I actually met someone very, very genuine, very dope. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of feel something, So I let let her know that I'm very intentional. And I like what Stephen mentioned. I came with it, because here's the thing. I know what I'm looking for. I know what I want. And I'm very purposeful of those things. And to me, she fits everything that I needed. And this is something that I share with brothers all the time. When you're looking for a woman, or ladies, if you're looking for a man, get with somebody that you need, and then your wants will be blessed. So this lady, she surprised me, kind of took me by storm, but I really expressed to her, I'm purposeful, I'm meaningful, and I know what I want. And I just let her know straight up, you're the one. You're the one. And I feel that in my spirit, most importantly, I feel it in my spirit because God told me that the woman that I would be life partner with, she meets all of my needs and my criteria. So, I feel very strongly about that. But, I'm just taking it day by day. She knows exactly what's going on with me, so I feel like it's just timing. So, if I'm that, if she feels the same synergy, it's all good. If not, it's still all good because at the end of the day, I'm Pete Starks, baby.
Hey.
Someone going, if she don't want to jump on this,
Hey, brother, who you talking about, man? I'm just gonna ask you. Who you talking about, bro?
Hey.
Man,
No,
No,
say it.
everybody listening.
we all, but at the end of the day, things are gonna happen the way that they happen. Things are gonna be what they're gonna be. So I don't have to force it. I don't have to because Tracy mentioned it. I think Stephen mentioned it. I know my worth. I know, am I perfect? But I have flaws. I do. But at the end of the day, any woman that would choose me as her leader, she would definitely know that I got her back, that I'm going to speak to her always in love, and I'm definitely going to respect her and give her the uttermost respect, period. I don't tolerate that drama. I've been there, done that, and I definitely have the uttermost respect for her, no matter what. She will understand that I put my feelings aside and I put hers first, so at the end of the day, it's all good. So with the whole dating scene, I've just cut it off. This one I'm focusing on, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Man, I was in mystery. God damn.
RG Breed.
Oh, my bad. I ain't on mute.
RG
My bad.
Yes,
RG
ma'am.
Breed. I see you.
Right. She
Go
was
ahead.
all ready to bust. What you got?
I don't like none of it. Okay. I don't like the disconnect between us as African Americans. I don't like the way we talk to each other. I don't like the way we handle each other. I don't like the way we come at each other. I don't like the lies and deceit. I don't like it. I think there is nothing better, sweeter than chocolate love when it's right. You can't beat it. And I am saddened that my girl has to go outside of the chocolate land to find someone who understands who she is and honors her as the queen she is. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's make this. I want to just set the record. It's not negative. I am multiracial.
Okay.
So for me, I identify as a woman of color. Okay, so dating outside of my race isn't about. I see love as love, and I have to say that because it's not saying I've been hurt and scorned by a particular race. That comes. I've gone through things with other races and cultures, so I don't want to say I'm a product of my environment per se. I've never been bound to dating 100% Black. I will say it that way. Well, African American, because to me, Latinos are Black. Because you have Afro Latinos, you have Afro Indigenous, and so forth. So that I'm not bound to that. So I see great love as love. It's not bound by race. Because if that were the case, I wouldn't be here. My mom wouldn't be here. My dad wouldn't be here. So I don't want you to utilize me as an example of where you're going with that, because I know I don't fit it.
And here's the thing. All melanated people, period. Chocolate, I call all of brown people.
Okay.
It is a stigma when you are brown that is bad. It is a stigma. It is a stigma that my brothers look at us in a way that is not conducive to who we are and what we're doing in this world and what value we hold. And I'm gonna say this because there is so many young women that I have coached that are brown, dark brown, and that are light skinned. And the fact still remains that the standard of beauty and love and excellence does not look like me to them. It's a known fact. And so when I say that chocolate love is beautiful, that's because I'm standing in a chocolate body. And I want the brothers to see my beauty, my sister's beauty on whatever level. So if men are looking at you and they're honoring you as a woman of melanin, plus sign, there you go. But it's sad that has to happen, because I have several friends who have white husbands, Italian husbands, Latino husbands. You know, I mean, they run the gamut. Like I have a friend went to Dubai and came back with a whole husband. You know, she came back with new luggage and a whole husband. You know, she did. She went to Dubai and the man said, "You will not leave me." She said, "I got to go." He said, "Well, I'm going with you." Cashed out that money and came to, and he stayed here for 2 years. She was like, "When you go home?" He said, "When you marry me." So he followed her because he said he had never seen anyone as exciting as her, wrapped in the package that she was in. And all of his friends want a chocolate girl because he all of them. And so when I say chocolate love is beautiful, it's because nobody ever says that. So it wasn't, I was just saying, because you said you date outside of the race. That's, to me, is a sad statement that the brothers ain't beating down the door to keep you in. They ain't saying, hey.
Don't go.
We want her to, yeah, we want her to stay because she's such an asset. Other people, other men from other cultures are seeing how awesome you are, right? How awesome you are. And I think that the communication between brothers and sisters is dead. It's gone. And I'm sad. I'm sad.
I think that, so we talked about this before, and I think some prior conversations, I know I spoke about it. The problem is, and it starts with Black men, how we grew up. Did we have an absent father? And a lot of those generational curses, you know, now brothers are you know, they're being cast aside, you know, because of whatever reason, how they grew up, traumas, past traumas, you know. So if you can find love doesn't have a color, you know what I'm saying? And I'm for my people, you know, but wherever you can be happy and find the love to be treated the way you deserve to be treated, to be talked to, you know, to be able to have disagreements without yelling and screaming, you know, and creating more triggers and traumas that you've experienced or a person has experienced. I think no matter what color that person looks like, you got to go for that, because at the end of the day, it's your happiness. It's your happiness.
Yeah, love has no color, but love has no color. Because I was a teacher for 20 something years, and I jump in front of a moving car for a little white baby as I will a little chocolate baby. You know what I'm saying? Love has no color. Love is colorless. But all I'm saying is that we are the only group that the men and the women don't find value in the men and the women. And when we talk about dating, we have to talk about the quintessential fact that we don't get along. Y'all don't like me, us. And we mad with y'all. So we fighting. We internally fighting. And that is a cause for concern. We have to address the fact that We knuck it up. Y'all ain't acting right, and we stupid. That's the reality of it. And we have got to, and we have got to come. I can't get what I want because you can't get what you need. You can't get what you need because I can't get what I want. So we ain't happy. And as a culture, we're gonna have to fix that. We're gonna have to learn how to talk and love and respect each other, or this conversation will never come to an end.
Thomas, did you have something?
I did. I was going to add to what Brian was saying. I thought what you said was interesting about the broken households. I mean, I guess I came up in a unique situation. I didn't come from a broken household. You know, my father, he's not from the States. He's from Ghana. And my mom, she's from Texas. So I kind of came up in a unique background where I saw it's interesting. And I still see this today. I don't know why, but there's some kind of weird disconnect between African Americans and Africans as well. I hear about it in barbershops. I hear about it, you know, on my dad's side. I hear about it on my mom's side. And then I talk to my mom about the type of prejudice that she went through with some folks from my dad's side. I mean, I'm like, we all come from the motherland in a sense. You know what I mean? We all black. You know what I mean? So, but they're still together to this day, almost 40 years. And that means something to me. I think, you know, I was married about 7 years. And for me, like, I grew up watching my mom, and I still see it. My mom served my dad. I also watched my dad work and protect and provide for my mom. So I came up in a very, you know, old school, you know, roles, gender roles, family. So that's kind of what I always looked for in my marriage. It wasn't that, you know, I always felt like I was supposed to be the one protecting and providing, taking care of the bills, making sure there's food in the house and things like that. And I wanted someone to take care of home and be able to take care of me, you know, in a sense. So I didn't get those things, obviously, and respect is a huge thing for a man. I go wherever I'm respected. And that's kind of like what I was alluding to earlier.
Good.
I was dating this woman, she's Mexican, but she comes from a cultural background, a background of tradition where, you know, they just grew up knowing that's how they grew up, understanding how to talk to men and serve men and things like that. And the same thing for Africans. I'm also dating an African woman as well. Same thing. And one thing I'm realizing, I'm not saying all Black American women are this way, because again, my mom is from here. And, you know, I see other people within my family that are still married. You know, it just seems like the sense of tradition is what's missing. That's what I see. A sense of tradition, and that gender role seems to be, it's like swapped now. It's like now women are taking on, you know, the masculine, and they're taking on the male role, and that kind of conflicts with another male. You know, you can't have two people that are alphas and that are trying to run the same household. So that's kind of what I see. So, but yeah, like I was saying, I go wherever I'm respected. You know, if you Chinese, Vietnamese, I don't care what you look like. If you respected me and you treating me right, and then you're not asking for nothing either, oh, you getting everything. It's up. You ain't got the hand out neither. Oh, you getting everything. It's the woman that asks for nothing to get everything. That's my. Hey, I be telling you that all the time, Brian.
Big facts. Big facts.
Say that again.
Oh my gosh.
It's the woman that asks for nothing and gets
You
everything.
said two themes of conversations that have come up. So, first of all, let me back up. I agree with Tomas. I'm going to do his little Spanish name today, Tomas. I'm from a two-parent household. all college educated, corporate, retired, government, whole nine. So I had two sets of parents. Getting away with nothing. And that does make a difference. So with that in mind, and this is for the guys, well, this is for all of us. Do you feel a person's upbringing, that environment, especially if your parents were truly active and present, do you feel that person's environment would make a difference in how you move forward with them? Because
I say yes and no. Because
okay,
I agree.
My mom came from a broken household.
okay, but did she know her father or have a father figure?
She had a father figure. However, she came from pimps and hoes. I'm not even joking. She got the funniest story.
Okay.
But yeah, she had, but she didn't have a good relationship with her father. You know,
But she had a father figure.
There was
That
a father.
makes-
There was a father
that
figure.
makes a
It was her step. It wasn't her biological father. I had to find this out with her. I mean, she said she always knew it wasn't her real dad, but you know, now it's kind of tough because I'm like, that's my papa. You know, like, you know, I didn't even want to go meet the guy. You know, like I don't want to meet him. I was a kid back then, but anyway. But she did have a father figure in their household, and I don't know what he was like coming up. I don't hear the best stories either. However, I feel that my mom had to learn and pick up on a lot of things that she has now today. She didn't have those things when she met my dad. So, and she's told me this. My dad's told me this. I have conversations with them all the time because I admire them. They got it right. And I try to ask. Obviously, their situation is different than anybody else's, but I'm just like every day seems to be work for them. It's not perfect. I hear them even now sometimes bickering with each other. I'm like, what y'all even got to argue about at this point? Like, what y'all got to argue about? But the next day, you know, my mom ain't stopping cooking for him. My dad ain't stopping what he doing. You know, it's beautiful. That's what motivates me. I went through I went through a failed marriage, and people ask like, "Damn, you want to be married again?" I said, "Hell yeah!" I was young when I got married. I'm grown now. I know what I want now. I done been through all the. I got a therapist on speed dial. Look, I talk to my guy. Brian, no, he my other therapist. I be talking to him. Brian, no.
All right, Mr. Carter, I see you chopping at the bit. What you got to add to it?
So, number one, look, these are interesting points that we're all making in this live, which is pretty dope. I just a couple of thoughts. I've been sitting here jotting down notes or whatnot, and I'm not going to even go off the notes, but a couple of things. When it comes to Black women, American Black women, I've only dated outside of the diaspora once, and that was with a Polynesian girl. And it was kind of an experiment, so to say, because I had never done it before. I believe that Black women come in all hues, all mixtures, all looks. And in my mind, it's just me, I'm not going to speak on all Black men. I think they come from all backgrounds as well. And to the whole childhood thing that Tracy just brought up, I'm going to veer off for a second and get back to what I'm saying. I don't think that, for some people, I don't think that your upbringing has anything to do after a certain age, and a certain age of accountability, should I say, with how you turn out. Because unless you're using that as a crutch, you haven't matured yet. I think at the end of the day, you have to wake up and say, I cannot be upset because my dad wasn't there, or my mom was ghetto and loud, or she did X, Y, and Z, and this is why I am why I am. At what point as an adult do you say, I can do better? I tell people who ask this question in different ways, I learned how to love and be a family man by watching the Cosby Show, living in the Imperial Courts in Watts, in the middle of the crack era in LA. where my dad was in the streets and my mom was smoked out and she was turning tricks right in front of me every single night just to get some more crack. I didn't have any addictions. I didn't drink. I didn't alcohol. So getting back to what I'm saying about Black women, I don't. She mentioned Afro-Latinas. This is a form of, in my opinion, it's a form of self-hate because Black people run this world. We just don't understand our power. Culturally speaking, we can come in light skin with blonde hair and blue eyes in the middle of Guinea, Africa right now, or we can be jet black dark from Sudanese or somewhere in Compton right now. So in my mind, I don't have to look outside of that to find respect. I think I was telling Isha not too long ago, I don't even look for love in a woman, because even biblically speaking, the Bible does not teach a wife to love her husband. It teaches her to respect him. It's our job as men to love them like Christ of the church. So I think respect comes from a person who, not that kind of respect, but that romantic thing we're looking for from anybody, with, let's just say within the Black community, it just comes from your experience and your growth and your ability to effectively execute what you learned as an adult. It's kind of, I think also there's a problem within our community too. And I did a TikTok on this and it got some pretty decent likes. I think a lot of us Black folks with the emergence of social media have been indoctrinated. I've been reading this book called Race to by Ruha Benjamin, Race to Technology. She's talking about the new Jim Code, okay, like the new Jim Crow. And she's talking about how AI and things like that, it's extremely racist and separatist when it comes to Black people. It's embedded in algorithms. So when we sitting up talking about this hate stuff and this red pill, travel, what they call passport bros and all this stuff, and we seeing that stuff, we be like, oh, it's entertainment. It's really heightening the discord that we have for each other in the community without us even realizing it.
Right.
So consequently, what happens is we come up with these ideas that, oh man, Black women do this, and you know, Black men ain't this, and they ain't with their daddy, they don't take care of their kids, and blah 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 blah. It seems like Black folks become the cover page story for everything that every other race is doing, but we get put on the thing. For example, welfare, food stamps, Black dads not in the house. I'm using all to say this. I think we are beautiful enough to find somebody within the community, intentionally or unintentionally. I think that every Black person has something of value. They have a level of genius in them that's going to allow us to fall in love and respect and love them unconditionally. Now, again, I'm not knocking dating outside of race, but I mean, we have every hue. I've met Black women, and I'm not joking, with long brunette and blonde hair. So at the end of the day, I just think we have been indoctrinated by social media, by television, because it started with the Disney movies and stuff back in the 80s and stuff. And I don't think we understand the importance of really getting rid of certain perspectives in media, not just social media, but media in general, about who we are. Back in the day, you remember they used to make us think, the Black women, that they had to be slim with a small booty in order to attain a level of beauty. Back in the 80s, and when I was a kid, I remember that. You used to wear was it Sergio Tacchini? Not Sergio Tacchini, but the Valente jeans. And they didn't have no booty area for the Black women.
Gloria Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt, all of that stuff. So again, I'm just saying, like, if we can get back to the purity of who we are as a people, by one, eliminating European ideas of beauty and standards and fatherhood and motherhood and family, because our family, our structures are different from white people. Let's keep it real. We don't raise, our kids don't adhere to the same standards that we learn in academia. We have to raise our kids differently. Why? And I'm gonna prove it to you. Why do I have to raise my son and say, hey, you need to react this certain way to a cop? So these things we're trying to blend. I think, I don't think it was Daniel Baldwin or someone said, he said, or it may have been Malcolm X. He said, one of the harsh things we've ever done was integration.
Brother Malcolm.
It was Malcolm. We should have never integrated because we had these dynamics in place prior to integration. We had the women who respected, but even then, just keep it real, women and men was cheap. My grandmama had 9 kids by 3 different men while my grandfather was off in the military. So it was going on, just wasn't highlighted. But needless to say, I'm saying all this to say, like, I think there is beauty in all of who we are. And I just think we need to get away from the agenda that algorithms, social media, and even just random voices in the media are playing or pushing towards us to keep us separated.
I agree with that.
Okay.
A lot of that is common day programming.
Correct.
And a lot of people don't even know it's going on. But the younger generation, even younger than me, are the main ones that are buying into it. The Sexy Reds and the music. I know y'all heard the music. I don't listen to that neither. But they buying into it. So the question is, like, how does that change come about in the community if the young folks are buying into that stuff? You know what I mean? I hear what you're saying about the programming. Yeah, that stuff's been going on for years, and they keep changing it. And guess what? We keep biting. You know what I mean? I understand that.
One household at a time. You start under your own roof, in my opinion. If you start under your own roof, you marry a black woman, you have black kids, you raise black kids in the house from other parents or biological parents, stepdaddy, stepmama, because that's even starting to be condemned right now in the black community. Let's keep it real. You raise those kids and you teach them about how beautiful their black is, how beautiful they are as a people, and then you start the community after that. One household at a time.
Yeah, and I think to that, what Tracy was saying is that she comes from a blended love, right? And I think that is also very important for us to understand that as a community, we loved everybody. If you were, our love didn't have any boundaries. We are a communicative love group. We love as a bunch. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is when she comes from a mix, that has to be taken into consideration, that because I love hard and I understand where that love come from, that sense of it just spilling over. You know what I mean? And then everybody else can get that love from us. But when we can't get it, I can't get it from B Starks, right? I can't get it from Tomas. I can't get it from Steve. I can't get it from my brothers. Then that sets up that separation that we've been talking about. And I think when you can't see chocolate love, you can't see any love. And I think that is a problem, where I can see you for the man you are, and I can respect you for the man that you are. And when I could do that, my brother, then the love is different. Because I don't have to do that. I can stand on a different kind of love, but I got to be able to love you first before I can love anybody else, because you reflect me. I look like you, you look like me. And if I can't love you, how can I truly love somebody else as a community, not singular, but as a community?
I want to touch bases on the question. I want to touch bases on the question that Tracy asked real quick before I wrap up and leave here tonight. Does our upbringing have? I agree with Thomas. I think yes and no. It's not an excuse. I never had an excuse. I didn't have my father. I had a man that was despicable, abused me and my mom. I grew up in inappropriate misbehavior. But I always was a person that was always trying to help. I was always good to women. I just needed maturing because my greatness didn't come out until after maturing was done. So I think that, and Stephen's point, I think, yes, it does have, it's good to understand when we're dating. It's good to understand where that person comes from, because when we start seeing certain type of behaviors, then we can understand and have compassion and have empathy. Okay, but now as a grown adult, like Stephen alluded to, now you have the responsibility and the
Mhm.
choice to be better than what you grew up in. Don't become a product of your environment. Again, I've always loved and I've always been a provider. I didn't see that at all. I saw it in the church, but I didn't see that in my own house. I was abused. I saw inappropriate behaviors with my so quote unquote stepfather sleeping with all the women in the neighborhood, staying gone, and then having these ridiculous pornographic stories, and then coming home telling me about it like I'm his homeboy. Like, dude, are you not with my mama? So not saying that I've been perfect, but I've been pretty good, in my marriages. I've been pretty good with people that I've dated. So uh, I think it's Stephen really just hit it. At some point, it comes with your responsibility. All right. But for us that are dating that person, we have to understand where they come from, because when we start seeing those behaviors, then we can understand and try to help that person overcome those, and support them. But if you ain't trying to support them, I mean, if you're not trying to get the help yourself, then it's time to cut ties with them. It's time to move on.
Well, I just want to add to that. Y'all was all over the place, and I'm gonna just try to hit a couple things. First of all, I think it's interesting that as Black people, and I'm going to use that term intentionally, as Black people, I think Regina hit to it about us having to always love everybody, and we never put ourselves first. We are the only culture that does that. We put everyone else ahead of the needs of our own. And I say that because somebody brought up multiracial dating. And I think it's interesting how other races or other cultures will choose self-preservation before love. To me, it feels like, and I'd love to hear y'all opinion on it, we are the only ones that are willing to compromise that. I don't care, and this is no disrespect to none of my Asian friends, but my Asian friends will find another Asian. They don't care how ugly. Let's see, B Starks fell off. They don't care how ugly, but they're gonna find somebody within their culture. And you may have the occasional one-off. Somebody ran into a sister and they fell in love and whatever, but that's not the social norm.
Mm-hmm.
We are the only ones.
You know what the common denominator is, though, with that?
What's that?
Cut you off, but Black folks are also the only set of people who have had their entire identity taken away.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that comes into play with that as well. Like, a lot of Black folks don't even know really where they're from.
Absolutely. So that's a different conversation, right? So, but that plays a part of it. What I am saying is every other culture will choose themselves and choose self-preservation first. Now, why we don't choose ourselves is, to your point, that's a whole different conversation. As a matter of fact, and this is a plug, we did a whole film about it, released in August of last year, called B1 the Movie. It's the letter B, the number 1, the movie. Check it out. And we address relationships. We address other cultures and their relationships. We address self-love. We address self-hate. All of these things are addressed in the film, and we got a curriculum that partners with the film. So B1 the Movie curriculum, where we give you some really practical ways on how we can begin to put ourselves first. And so shout out to Dr. Mathis, who is the writer and executive producer of that film. So shout out to him. Y'all go follow his social media at Rick, R-I-C, no K, Mathis, M-A-T-H-I-S, and follow B1 the Movie. And he and I both co-wrote the B1 the Movie curriculum. So definitely cop that. But yeah, we address every single area that we've discussed tonight in that film. So check it out. E. Okay.
It sounds like that's a byproduct of like the Stockholm syndrome. You know what I mean? When she mentioned how we just all like we so quick to love, but it's just it's the same idea. You know, Stockholm syndrome basically it's a version of it. You know what I mean? It's a psychological condition that we have to unlearn. But then again, it's crazy because if you are for a religious person, no matter what religion you're talking about, globally speaking, they're telling you to love your enemies, to love people, to love your neighbors. So it kind of gets weird in a sense, you know what I mean?
But I think to your point, we still have to love, honor, and respect. No other culture, no other man in any other culture calls me a bitch and a whore and puts me on display the way that African American men do. You don't protect us.
We're the only culture that does that, RG. You know,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You don't hear the Asians call themselves B words. You don't hear the people in the Middle East, the brothers calling they women B words. We the only ones.
And therefore, when we do that, that sets up a space between us that we can't get by. And everybody looks at that. I want to say that has to start with us. I have to be able to say, you can't talk about him like that. We're not going to call each other that. I'm not going to call myself that, and you're not going to call me that either. When was the last time a woman looked at you that you were in love with and she called you beloved? She called you precious. She called you my darling, my gift from the Most High God. If your woman ain't talking to you like that, y'all need to check that together. When was the last time you said to a woman, you are the beginning of my life? You are when do we start talking to each other like that? When do I say that I stand in the gap for Stephen? I don't know this brother. I don't owe him. I don't know him more than a bag of beans. But if we are somewhere, you would think we've been married 55 years because I'm standing in the gap because he is my brother. He looks like me. I look like him. And that togetherness that we used to have, we don't have it anymore. And because we don't have it anymore, then they can separate us, and then we're lost. And they're always going to be able to do to us what they're doing to us, because I don't love Stephen in the space that I see him as a man, my protector. When I see Tomas, I ought to feel safe. I shouldn't be clutching my pearls in my pocketbook. That's my brother. That's my son. That's my cousin. He is mine and I am his. And how I'm going to love somebody else when I don't love me? Because you look like me. I look like you. We come from the same space. We got to do that, y'all. We got to do that.
Yeah, this has been some great dialogue. I didn't even know we was going to go here tonight, but thank God we did. Before we get off the live, I just want to say, first, I want to acknowledge my sisters. So I love y'all for real, for real. You, Tracy, RG, I speak to you women almost daily. You pour into my life. I pray that I give some benefit back to you. I want you to know that I love you and I appreciate you, my sister. My brothers. Tomas.
What's going on?
It's Stephen Carter.
My ladies, my man.
And B Starks under the covers again. He under the covers. We don't know where he at.
I'm rolling. I'm driving.
B Starks. Love you, brothers. Thank you for always pouring into me, for making me better. Thank you for protecting me, for loving me. I talk to several of y'all on a consistent basis. And we talk everything from business to life to relationships. And y'all make sure I stay on my P's and Q's. So thank y'all for loving me wholly.
Wouldn't change it for the world.
Thank you for having
Most
me.
definitely.
Likewise.
I
So,
think
Thank
we
you,
all should pick
Keisha.
up. Yeah, I think we all should pick up this mantra: love who loving you, take care of who's taking care of you, and pray for everybody else.
facts. On that note, y'all,
Amen.
we out of here. All right, we'll
Ladies.
see y'all
Pleasure.
Thursday night. Peace.